Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, brought to you in partnership with GridFinder.com. I am Tim, back once again, and finally, we get to reunite. Malk, he's back with me. How you doing?
You're all right, Tim. I am doing very well. Doing very well. I'm glad to have you back, actually, from last week's epic race as well. So, how are you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, and it's just really been weird to how the last few weeks it's either been you or it's been me, but we've never actually been able to commentate together. Things just getting in the way as far as scheduling. So now, with 4 races remaining, Italy tonight. What are we expecting now that we're into the final stages of this championship?
We're at Italy. You are right there. We're at Italy. We're at the Monza track, not Imola. We're at the Monza track. Loads of straight lines, so there'll be lots of low downforce. So I wouldn't be surprised if people go for like 2-2 or or ridiculously 0-0 with no cornering. If they do that, they are insane. There's going to be a lot of overtakes galore. It's the Ascari corners they're going to have to watch out for. This will be penalties galore, especially at Ascari. The two Lesmo corners that you might remember. And the famous, if you don't know Italy that well, Tim, it's the famous Parabolica corner. I love that. I love that corner because it feels like you're on a roller coaster ride itself. How does it feel?
Yeah, and that corner parabolic, it actually is very fun to take. And uh, I I just call it the green stuff. But you know how right there on the outside of the corner there's that green stuff in the runoff area, and you can just dip your left front tire in there. You actually got a little bit of grip.
Absolutely. I think it's just you have to be at the right place at the right time, and if you don't, you're going to get screwed, basically. So you have to be at your very, very best at this track, and especially down the straight at the start finish line straight, where it's going to be absolutely maxed out, especially with the DRS and the ERS. But there'll be heavy braking two in the bed, or hopefully three in the bed moments as well, Tim.
Yeah, and you know we're talking about how the season is coming to an end and there's a championship on the line. Let's go ahead and actually talk about some of those drivers. Rudo24 finds himself at the top of the standings at the moment with 237 points. MDJ, who seemed to be one of the most dominant drivers all season, has now dropped to second. There for a while, he did not miss a single race. We sung his praise, and on the very day I sung his praise, he missed the race. So that puts him down to
Commentator's
P2.
curse.
Exactly.
Commentator's curse. Oh, I knew it.
229 points for him. In P3, Cameron Searle with 214, and Bruce Lee Harding in P4 with 201. So really, it's looking like we've got about a four-way battle right now still for this championship.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we still have to wait and see how everything plans out. But obviously, there's still quite a few drivers who are not far off from the championship, don't get me wrong. Even though some of them are really close to each other, you can still guarantee points in the sprint as well as the features. So, obviously, you can get a maximum, if I remember it right, a maximum of 34. I think it's 34 points. I think it's 25, 8, 33, plus the fastest lap, probably 34, 35. But we'll have to wait and see how everything plans out at the moment. I'm just reading some of the comments. Good evening to Spud. How you doing, mate? ARL says, hello, lads. How you guys doing? Good to have the legendary duo back together. Malk, how are you from that reported car? I'm doing very well, mate. I'm doing very well. Slowly, it's still there, but not as bad as worse as last week, to be honest. Smoke says, shall we start the Malk drinking game? You won that bingo card ready. You knew that was going to happen. And ARL says, Andrea Modder, not letting this World Championship go. So, I mean, last week we was at Sandevort, and it was without doubt insane. There was so many battles galore. But Ruddo, I forgot to mention actually. Hello to Dave. How you doing, mate? Hope you came well. From last week's race, Cameron, who was joint leader with MDJ, had a DNF in the race, and it was a bit of a shock. That was the biggest story shock from last week, because Ruddo had the chance, and Mikey had the chance to extend that opportunity from Cameron's mistake, and Ruddo and Mikey did. So we have to wait and see how everything plans out at the moment. David says, I am well, thanks. Do you have any seats for next season? I am not 100% sure, but have you got Discord by a chance? If you have, send us the link or send us the name of your Discord, and we'll pass it on to one of the admins, or if anyone is in here, to pass it on to the admins. I'm sorry, Smoke. Yes, okay, no worries, Dave. Spud says rain towards end. No, I don't know if that's towards the end of the sprint or towards the end of the feature. We'll have to find out. Oh, ARS says dry to rain for the last 3 slots. So we are going to have a dry to wet conditions, Tim, and glory times at the Monza track. I have been here, and it's absolutely amazing track. But what's your thoughts of the track?
Well, Malk, I kind of want to talk about the weather that you're talking to me, that you just told me. You don't just ask me about the track when you tell me a weather forecast like that. So we were talking earlier about how you need low downforce around this, but now that we are expecting a little bit of rain toward the end, how is that going to change these drivers' thinking? How's that going to change their setup? Are they maybe going to go for a little bit more downforce in preparation for the rain? Because you've got to think, when is it expected to hit? Is it toward the end of the race, or is it more halfway?
Towards the end of the sprint. Towards the end of the
toward
sprint.
the end of the sprint.
But I won't keep you long, mate, because we're about to go straight in without no formation lap, so I'll let you carry on, mate. All right?
And remember, we got a sprint race, then a feature. The sprint race, it will set the starting order for our feature, as well as awarding the top 8 finishers a few points to go with it. And we are green, Ginger Tiger in the McLaren leading them off, and already we got a little bit of jostling around for position, maybe 3, 4, 5 wide, almost in the back anyway, and 3 wide going into the first corner.
And I'll tell you what, 2-1, this is mad, this is brilliant racing now. Oh, fantastic stuff. Mikey and Cassidy had a drive-through penalty. They had a jump start, so they will have to go in the next few laps or so, otherwise they'll be disqualified. But still battle between Mikey and Darryl. Side by side battle come up to the end of the first sector to the chicane part. So we have to wait and see how everything plans out. Oh, the Mercedes and the Red Bull. The Red Bulls try and get some wings to hold on, Tim.
Yeah, and Mikey in P6 right now trying to chase Ginger Tiger, who lost a ton of positions at that start. Started right there on the pole, but he just dropped back like a rock as soon as those lights went out. Nitro Gash finds himself in the lead now in that Mercedes, followed by Martin in the second position, then Speed Queen 80 in third. Speed Queen 80, the highest runner at the moment on the soft compound tires, and one of only 2 electing to go on the softs. Joe Hamster in P4, the other soft tire runner, but not really seeing them make a lot of significant gains here on this first lap. We'll see where they end up at the end of the sprint. Oh.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, there was a crash. There is a crash at Ascari corner. I didn't catch it. There was one driver that was way back, and it looks like ARL and MDJ had a bit of a crash moment, so they will have to go into the pits. It looks like Mikey and Cassidy, with their drive-through penalties, they will go in. As we will go through the chat in a minute, but there's so many battles galore. So Spud's moved several to 9th. Cameron is having a good battle with Bruce in 11th place, Tim.
So MDJ, just to say, he was one of the drivers involved in that, and he does have a time penalty now. So MDJ, one of our championship competitors, that is going to have major implications on this battle. But taking a look now at Bruce Lee Harding and Ryan, the battle for 10th, and wow, Ryan going underneath of the Ferrari of Sir Spud, passing him like he was sitting still. Ryan now has his sights set on Darryl in the Mercedes. Taking a look at Sir Spud here, and no damage that I can see. So really, Ryan just had a fantastic run out of the corner, but a lot of drivers actually passing Sir Spud. Maybe there is something wrong. There has to be.
Yeah, I'll double check. I'll double check from Sir Spud's point of view. I'm just trying to look to see if there's got any front wing damage. No, it looks like everything's fine from his point of view, unless he's just waiting for that moment of the rain to kick in as things start. They're going down the straight now. Mercked and Susperda go side, and it looks like... Oh, crash! Bruce, and also someone else, I think it's Cameron. Bruce and well, Bruce is out. Bruce is out, but Cameron is still in. He's got no front wing, though. We might have a safety car. No, it's a virtual safety car, Tim.
So a virtual safety car right when DRS was enabled, so that is going to really disappoint a few of these drivers that were close enough to make some moves. Of course, none of that was going to happen in the first two spots. Nitrogash and Martin, 1.1 seconds between each other. Speed Queen 80 and Joe Hamster, though. Maybe a little bit of battling going on for the final podium spot here in the sprint race. Lap 3 of 9, so about a third or so away, or through this race.
Yeah, we're a third away, Tim. We're a third of the way. I promise you that.
A third of the way, not a third away.
I'm not saying any more now, Tim. Don't say any more now. DRS is now enabled now. DRS is now enabled. We're back live racing. Just watching Esteban Martin getting close to Nitrogash. Nitrogash had a great moment. He's going to lose out to first to Esteban Martin at the Escari corner. But remember, Nitrogash will have that straight line speed and will have the opportunity to make the move onto Esteban Martin. If he doesn't make this move now, he's got the chance to make the move after Parabolica corner.
Yeah, and remember, DRS, it was enabled just this lap, so he is going to see if maybe he can line himself up for a pass. God. He's got the slipstream.
Sorry, Tim. We might have a 3 to bed. We've got a 3 to bed moment. Ruddo, Ginger Tiger, and... Oh, this is mad! This is JP, 3 to bed moment now at turn 1. Oh, brilliant stuff. JP and Ruddo. Oh, tyres banging. Unbelievable racing here, Tim.
So Rudo moves up into P5. Just behind him, though, we have got JP making a move on him. AlphaTauri versus Red Bull, pretty much, well, sister teams going at it head-to-head. But my goodness, Rudo, a fantastic exit off of that corner, showing JP just how it's done. JP, well, he's going to have to make up a little bit of time now because Rudo, just off of that corner, put about a car length or two between them.
Yeah, he's done really well, actually, to be fair, with Ruddo. He needs to step up again now. But this is great for Ruddo. ARL, the fastest off the race, 122.820. So, good lap from ARL. So he's going to have to try and put the pressure on. Still watching JP now getting close. But also look at Darrow and Ginger Tiger, they're getting really close as well. So JP could have a chance down the Parabolica corner. He might have to wait a little bit. Might have to wait a little bit before he goes past Parabolica. And now we're going to go down the straight and see who will win at turn 1, Tim.
And down the front straightaway, let's see. This is going to be a bit of a DRS train, so not sure how much moves we're going to see. But JP at least takes advantage of it, goes around Rudo.
No, he's still side by side. Oh, this is mad. Brilliant racing. But Rudo's all on. But look at Darryl. Look at Darryl. Darryl's going to try. And there's also a 2-in-a-bed moment between Ryan and Ginger Tiger just behind. Oh my God, this is bad.
JP just faked out Rudo 24, trying to move onto the outside. Can't do it, though. Has to fall back in line. And now that gives Daryl an opportunity to look on the inside of JP. Can't do anything with it. So Rudo still P5, JP in 6th, Daryl in the 7th position, a 3-car battle. And we're going to have another DRS zone coming up. But Daryl right on the back of JP might be seeing a move down here. But JP, he has got the DRS off of Rudo still. So stuck in this DRS train. Really not going to see a lot of moves, but my goodness, though, is JP still so very quick. And honestly, I'm thinking that just maybe JP has got a little less downforce than Rudo. Maybe Rudo's got just a touch more, and that's what's giving him the exit off these corners.
That's what's helping him a little bit. That's what is helping just that little bit. But remember, the wings are going to be a little bit higher. But the clouds are coming in now, Tim. The clouds are coming in. Yeah, flags to that's Cassidy. Cassidy's lost it at the chicane just after the first second to the second. Oh my God, Rudo. Rudo's going to go on the inside line of Joe Hamster. And I tell you what an unbelievable move. Oh, contact!
Oh my
Contact.
goodness, and now JP, he's got some wing damage, as that was Joe Hamster, and was that Rudo as well going off? Yes.
So Rudo's got off. Rudo has got off, and that is not good news for him because he had the chance to extend that lead. So now he's gonna have to work for it again. Ryan's getting close to JP for 5th place now. Merck's getting closer to the Tiger for 8th. So battles galore, Tim.
On board with Ryan in the Alpine, right on the back of the Red Bull of JP. It's lap 6 of 9. So hey, now we're a third away. That's how we do it. DRS, you heard the beep. Ryan, he's going to try to make a move on JP, but look at how fast JP is down the straightaway. He just pulled Ryan.
He did, but Jim Tiger lost out to Merck. Rudo has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. 3-car battle, Tim. JP, Ryan and Owen, who will try and win the 5th place. Marlon Rudo's going to suffer up to 10th now, but with damaging limitations. Oh my God, this is mad. This is going to be absolutely mad now. Look at this, they go down the straight, and this is an absolute unbelievable moment now. Ryan's got the chance to make, oh my God, 3 to bed, yes! The Alpine's going to try and make the move on the inside line. But what a move, and also Owen, that is cheeky. That's an absolute cheeky move. Round the outside of Darrell, who made an absolute mistake. And Darrell could lose out another position to Merck. He has. And I'll tell you what a way. What an unbelievable battle we are seeing, Tim.
Yeah, and that was really heads-up driving from Ryan to capitalize there. Really heads-up driving from JP and Ryan both. Because, you know, the Mercedes, they're just sort of sitting still, just splitting them 3 wide. Perfect maneuver.
Absolutely. While you're watching that, I'm just trying to have a look at the top 3 for a brief moment. Speedcreek's getting close to Nightgash. Speedcreek just had a brief look just before the Ascari corner. And here we go. Can Speedcreek now make the move? So here we go. Can Speedcreek now make the move into the Parabolica corner? Or just wait. Oh, I think Dowell's lost out. Dowell and Joe Housen lost out of Ascari corner, Tim.
And off of Parabolica, Speed Queen 80, she is going to have the DRS on Nitro Gash. Medium tires versus soft tires. Let's see which one's going to win out. Speed Queen 80 goes around Nitro Gash, goes into P2, but does she clear before the corner? Yes, she does. So moves Speed Queen 80 up into the 2nd position, has her sights set now on Martin up there in that Alpine.
Yeah,
now, Mount, let's talk about the tire window right now. Speed Queen 80 on the soft tires, 7 laps so far. When we get to the feature, how long are we going to expect soft tires to last if anyone decides to go on?
So roughly, normally the softs don't last long. So roughly between probably about 8 to 10 laps, I would say, depending on the severity of the setup that you've got. I reckon probably about 8 to 10. If you're really lucky, it might be pushed up to 12 if you've got that good time management, but it is going to be a bit of a push. But medium should have been the easiest option or the safest option, the way it looks. But Speed Queen has done well to keep it onto the soft tyre, and she could be on for a close battle with Martin if she doesn't try and get away from Nitro Gash too.
Yeah, and you know, that's the thing, is these sprint races, they're so short that there's really not enough time for her to try to chase Martin down. She might be able to knock off a few tenths of a second off of the interval, but with it being the final lap now, Martin's going to have to make a huge mistake to give Speed Queen 80 this opportunity, and now Speed Queen, without the DRS, actually trying to defend the inside line against Nitro Gash, does a fantastic job through turns 1 and 2 to hang on to the 2nd position, but Nitro Gash might have another opportunity here later on. In doing so, though, she actually lost a lot of time, so now 3.3 seconds between Martin and herself. So Nitro Gash just trying to get an extra point here for P2. Speed Queen 80 trying to do the same thing, but all the same, though, we are seeing Speed Queen 80 once again be one of the few drivers who was able to go onto the soft tires and make them last long enough to be beneficial here at the end of a sprint race, and that can pay dividends in the feature race as well. So with her having this track position starting right there in the 2nd spot, 2nd or 3rd, assuming how this battle plays out, as Nitro Gash goes underneath Speed Queen 80, but she barely is able to hold him off. Nitro might have one more opportunity at a parabolic. It's going to be close, but regardless, this track position is going to be good for her.
Oh my God. Sorry, Tim. There's a 4-car battle just behind this top 3, but I'll let you go back because they're about to cross over the line.
So Martin, he will win the sprint race. P1 for him. Speed Queen 80 in P2 for now, but does she hang on to it? Nitro Gash has a look, but just not enough time before they get to the line. 4th place is JP Ryan in P5, and it's a side-by-side battle. I think it was Mercked over Owen.
Mert just nicked it at the nick of time. To be fair, Ruddo misses out on the top page, and Tiger will finish off in 8th place. So Spud in 10. Dow in 11. Joe Amsterdam will finish off in 12, passing Parabolic corner now. Looks like Mikey and Cameron have a little bit of a battle that we are seeing live and exclusive for you guys. We'll catch up with the chat in a moment or two. So yeah, Mikey just holding on just for 13th place. Cameron will finish off in 14th. IRL will have that penalty. So yeah, it's been a mad start, shall we say, for the former champion. But Mikey and Cameron, those are not positions that you don't want to be with Ruddo in 9th. But remember, those 3 have not got any points, because remember, top 8 will guarantee the points if you're in the sprint. So they're very lucky that Ruddo did not score any points. But you've got to feel sorry for Ruddo after that few moments of mistake. But you never know what's going to happen. But Tim, I'll let you do the honours for the classification for the sprint.
And Martin P1 on the sprint and will be P1 on the feature race. Well, he's starting the feature race. Speed Queen 80 in P2. Nitro Gash P3. 4th place JP. Ryan in 5th position. Mercked in 6th. 7th is Owen. Ginger Tiger in 8th. 9th is Rudo. Sir Spud in 10th. 11th is Daryl. Joe Hamster in 12th. 13th is Mikey. And then Cameron Searle in 14th position. ARL in 15th. MDJ in 16th. Cassidy in 17th. Bruce Lee Harding in the 18th position. Malk, top 3.
Oh, I hate you for that. I hate you for that. Oh, God. I think I'm going to go with what you see is what you're going to get. SFR Martin, Speed Queen, and Nigel Gash in any particular order, Tim.
All right, I am going to go in any particular order. Speed Queen, Nitro Gash, JP. JP, he was really making moves through that field. I think that we're going to see a lot from that Red Bull.
You never know what's going to happen so far at this stage.
So just waiting for the drivers to ready up, and then we will be ready for our feature race. Again, no formation lap. We are going to be jumping straight into the race. And it's going to be Martin that is going to lead them off. Speed Queen 80 and Nitro Gash, your top 3.
Absolutely. Should be fantastic stuff. Just reading some of the comments, sorry, because it was explosive. Smoke says we'll be plastered by lap 2 of the main race. We'll have to wait and see, because at the moment there's no rain so far. Hello JPH, how you doing? It's good to see you back. Haven't heard from you for ages, to be fair. Stuart, good to see you back, actually. Just good evening, Malcolm Tim. How chuffed I am that you're both here tonight. Fully recovered post-illness last year and been sat with Nitro most of the season so far. Tonight watching online. Nice one, Stuart. Nice one. David, I'm hoping someone will give you the link for the Discord. I did ask on chat. I do apologise if we haven't got that. And I'm sorry, Smoke and JPH, if you don't, if you want the bingo card, just say I'll give you the bingo card right here. I did say 3 to bed, so you got a drink right here, right now. Spud says happy with 10th. Yeah, you did very well, to be fair. Yeah, no worries, David. No worries. But yeah, Spud says dry all the way. ARL says, got hit out at Ascari. So that's what's happened. So, I mean, with Monza, I absolutely love it. I don't know what it is, I just absolutely love the track. It's just one of those iconic moments where there's overtakes galore, and you never know what the... So we have to wait and see how everything plans out. Oh, okay, no worries, JPH. David, if you've got Discord, just send us your Discord name on the chat, and then we'll pass it on to someone to give you the link later. All right. Just it's that hash. It's like your name and then hash and then the four numbers, wherever it is. Just put it on there, and then I'll pass it on to someone, and hopefully they'll give you the link for the Discord. I promise you that. But if you like what we've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel for all the live race itself. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes. Will be a massive help. I'll say again, will be a massive help to myself, Malk, and Tim for the commentary box, as well as the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. Hit that like button on this stream, guys. Will be a massive help. Come on, hit that like button. Please. Please. Thank you. That's all I ask. If you're in the chat, who is your top three? Who is your top three predictions? Who do you think will be in your top three at the end of the race? So JPH says, hopefully Bruce will have a better race for the future. Bruce had a crash. Bruce had a crash during the race, Tim. Surely the mentality and the confidence is going to affect you massively. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, I'm sure, and that's a massive ask to come through the field like that. I mean, it's not impossible to start in the back of the field and win the race, but that is a lot of cars that you have to pass. So be prepared to spend the entire race just working and racing with people, trying to, sort of carve your way through the pack to be there at the end. But we are about to start. Let's see how this is going to go. Remember, no formation lap, going straight into this race, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Invictus Racing League's Realistic Performance League Italian Grand Prix. Martin, P1, Speed Queen 80, second place side by side as they go into turn number 1. Who's going to win out? Speed Queen 80 on the inside, and she gets the advantage over Martin. Martin drops down to P2, falls in line, tries to get the slipstream off of Speed Queen 80 and follow her through. Let's take a look at the tires, though. Who's on what? Speed Queen 80 and Martin, both of them going for the medium compound tires. In fact, almost everybody going for those.
Jitag is out, and there's a crash, and we might have a virtual safety car, Tim. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but there is a crash between Spud and it looks like Jitag did crash, and then also Spud lost it as well. So unfortunately for them too, they are out of the race, Tim.
Yeah, and that really is a shame. Ginger Tiger, of course, just not having the best of days today in Italy. Started on the pole in the sprint race, dropped back before he got to turn 1. He was in 5th. Now, before the end of lap 1, he is P18. No chance of continuing this race, completely out. That's just a shame.
So unfortunately for Jitag and Spud, they are both out. Yeah, it is a shame. That is absolutely a shame. Scotty, how you doing, mate? Hope you came well. He says Owen and Cameron fan club leader has arrived. Yeah, I mean, Owen's done well actually. He's in the mid pack. Cameron's had a bit of a struggling race at the sprint, but it is a safety car. Sorry, Tim. I do apologise. It looked like it was a virtual, but I couldn't see the yellow dot. So there is the yellow dot. So we are going to have the proper safety car. I do apologise, guys, for that.
Yeah, and this actually helps MDJ out a little bit because he started on the soft tires. Now he gets, pretty much a free pit stop, considering that he was already in 16th when the safety car came out. So he gets to pit and go to another compound tire, get that requirement out of the way, and come back out. Unless, of course, he's going on the soft compounds.
He probably knows something that we do not know, Tim. That's all I'm going to say. He knows something that we do not know. So just have to wait and see how everything plans out. But it looks like MDJ will try and go at least, hopefully, 10 or more laps, depending on how stint he's going to try and go for. But remember, the mediums should last at least halfway. So probably about 13 to 14 laps. So as the predicted pit stop strategy, if you do the one stop for the mediums, they said the predicted between 12 and 15 is the way to go for the hard tyre stint. But obviously if you're on the hard tyre, it'll be a little bit longer as well. So just waiting to see how everything plans out at the moment. They come up to the Ascari corner, and at the moment, Speed Queen, who had a great start, to be fair, team. She's at the moment, don't want to jinx it, but she has had a good start at the start of the race, Tim.
Yeah, got into first place just out of the first corner, was able to get the advantage over Martin and then start sailing away. Of course, it wasn't long after that the safety car came out, so haven't really been able to see much racing after that. But as soon as that safety car pulls in, which maybe next time, because MDJ has caught the end of the safety car queue, we will see what Martin has for Speed Queen and what the rest of the field has.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen, Sid. You never know. But, I mean, with the safety car, at this stage, the nerves are going to kick in. And, obviously, I know it's early doors, but you want to get a good start. And Speed Queen needs to, with her experience, needs to bunch up the cars when the safety car comes in and go whenever she's ready. You know what I mean? Because that's going to be the crucial point. Some drivers keep forgetting to bunch up the cars and just predict like a fake start so they can get at least a second head start in front of their competitors, Tim.
Yeah, and you know, it's all these games that you got to play on the restart, because when you're in first place, you are the control car. You are allowed to restart that race as long as it's before the line and after the safety car pulls in. So Speed Queen 80, she's completely got that right to slow way down, as you say, and bunch up those cars just to try to, you know, get a little bit of a heads up on the drivers.
Absolutely. And I think the safety car will come in on this lap anyway. JPH says a solid start from Bruce, Ruddo and Mikey. Yeah, Bruce done well, to be fair. All the other drivers have done well. Safety car is in this lap. So just wait. So obviously Joe Amster, well, Cassidy's had the biggest mover actually, Tim, from 17 all the way up to 10. Bruce from 18 to 12. And Joe Amster from 12 to 7th. So those are the three biggest movers that we have seen so far, Tim.
So riding on board with Martin, Speed Queen 80 will be the control car. Just waiting to see when she wants to go.
I reckon she'll go just after the parabolic corner, I reckon.
And that would be the most opportune time, but look at that. She caught Martin sleeping just a little bit, put quite a few car lengths between the two. We are back racing now.
Yeah. So we have to wait and see what's going to happen now. Speed Queen pulling away like no man's business. It looks like Nigel Gash is going to lose out to Merck if he's going to be careful at turn 1.
Oh, contact! My goodness, JP gets spun around. Nitro Gas got into the back of him, I think, as there was a battle between him and the Aston Martin of Merck. JP down to 16th now.
So JP dropped down to 15th, actually. Oh, he dropped down to 16th. There's so many battles galore. Bruce is getting close. Ryan's getting close. We've got a 3-car battle. And, oh, my days. It's Ryan trying to make the move on to Cassidy for 7th. And we've got a yellow flag set to 2. That is ARL. ARL just after the chicane. And I'm just trying to see. Oh, my God. The Merc. Oh, Darryl goes, I'm sorry, Mikey. And Mikey's saying no more that MDJ with that soft tyre stint. Just made the move under the bridge section, coming to the Ascari corner now. Looks like Darryl's struggling. Sorry, Tim.
And that is, oh my goodness, that was some contact between MDJ and Mikey, but MDJ, he got through clean. Remember though, MDJ, fresh, soft tires, fresher tires than absolutely anybody out here. And I know that's not saying much, it's only a lap difference, but still, he pitted under that safety car. Oh, and now we got Nitro Gas who spun around in Parabolica.
Spun around in Parabolica. I don't know exactly what happened there, but we've got a couple of battles going down the straight. And, oh my God, Cameron trying to hold on against JP. Cameron trying to make the move on the inside of Mikey. He's going to go around the outside. I'll tell you what a move. What a move there from Cameron there, Tim.
Mikey tucks back in line, looking for a way around Cameron. Cameron, meanwhile, I don't think he really cares what's happening behind him. He's just worried about what's going on up front and putting some distance between him and Mikey Cameron. Really looking like he's got a fast car here today.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wait to see what's going to happen so far. It looks like Mikey cannot lose out too much, but JP, who's really fuming now, he wants to try and make these moves, and quick. And he can't afford to lose out. Hello to Gam. How you doing? Hope you came well this evening. Cassidy's getting close to Joe Hamster for 5th place, Tim.
Joe Hamster in the McLaren, Cassidy in the Alfa Romeo on board with Cassidy, but don't look now because just behind Cassidy we have got Ryan, and oh no, that's MDJ on the soft compound tires. He's made his way up to 8th place already. You know what? Maybe I should have chose MDJ for one of my top 3s because he is already in P8 from, remember, P16 on the start. So already made it halfway through this field.
Halfway through this field, we nearly had a 3-to-bed moment, but it looks like Ryan's trying to make the move. Oh, I don't know, there was a little bit of contact between himself and Joe Hamster, but still Ryan holding on for dear life, and he might have the chance to make the move on the inside line, and he is. He made the move on the inside line of Joe Hamster. I don't think Joe Hamster did not expect that at all, but still, fair play to Ryan. He really is on fire at the minute, Tim.
MDJ still on the back of Cassidy meanwhile, and look at Cassidy, had a look on Joe Hamster, thought he's going to find a way around him. Not this time though, but they are coming up on a nice DRS zone. But the issue is this is going to be a bit of a DRS train, and Ryan, he is going to be the sitting duck. He's got 2.1 seconds between the nearest car ahead of him, but behind him he's got a lot of hungry ducklings just ready to go around. MDJ P7 now, right on the back of Joe Hamster. Will he get 2 for 1 before they get to Parabolica? MDJ not gonna have a look on Joe Hamster this time, but he is in prime position to benefit from that DRS.
Absolutely, and look at this now. Merck's getting close to Ruddo now. Ruddo is trying to pull away. This will be a great opportunity for Ruddo, and he's also got the fastest of the race too, with 1:23.649. And Merck is not going to be messed about. He really wants to make this move as soon as possible, Tim. And it looks like Mike MDJ has moved so past. Oh no, I spoke too soon. Oh, crash! No, contact. Sorry, contact. I do apologise. Cassidy moves up to 7. Joe Harrison drops down to 8. It feels like a little bit of a bumpy bumping car moments there, Tim.
Yeah, getting a little freaky deaky there through turns 1 and 2, but MDJ, he's able to get away nice and clean. Joe Hamster, meanwhile, well, I don't see any wing damage, but he did lose a position or 2, and that is never good, especially when you're in a race, but he's not letting it phase him. He is right on the back of Cassidy, ready to make a move on him once more, and will he be able to get the move done on Cassidy, though, who has got the DRS, but only just off of MDJ, who, well, he's not going to be there for very long to give them the benefit of the DRS because he is still moving forward.
Yeah, it is. It's still moving forward, but hopefully they'll try and bounce back as quickly as they can. But, yeah, still interesting stuff. Smokes and Martin taking the name, the Flying Scotsman. And I tell you what, Cameron going to go around the outside, but Jarvis is going to keep on the inside line of Parabolica corner. Oh my God, come on! We want the 3-to-bed moment now! We got the 3-to-bed moment, JP! Come on! Oh, come on! We got a 2-to-bed! 2-to-bed moment still! Oh, come on!
Oh, and contact into turn number 1. Cameron, he gets into the back of, was that Cassidy? Yes, turning Cassidy around through turn number 1. Oh, that was such a shame.
There was a miss in the pass of the lead, apparently, of Speed Queen. Nearly lose out, well, went to lose out to Martin on the first corner. And we got another safety car, Tim. We got another safety car. So this is definitely helping Nigel Gash to get himself back to normality as quickly as possible. But there was not much that I could see that there was like wing damage or anything. Did you notice anything with that, Tim?
What? For
the safety car, sorry. For the safety car to come out.
Oh, yeah, Cameron spun Cassidy around in turn 1, and I would assume that there's some wing damage, so that would likely be what happened. Now, there is not a lot of wing damage on Cameron's car, so I'm assuming that maybe Cassidy had got his front wing knocked off at some point.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought it was someone. I'm guessing I thought it was someone else, to be fair, so it's my fault with that. But Smoke says Martin missed the pass for the lead. They swapped positions twice. I do apologise. Obviously, we got so many battles galore. We can only do what we can to try and pick out as much as we could. So it looks like SFR Martin's going for the hard tyre stints. Should be everyone else who on the mediums will be there. So Spud says so many dirty drivers tonight. Well, we'll talk about that later, Spud. But yeah, Bruce is on the obviously 8 laps already. So with Darryl and Mikey, but Speed Cream will pull out in 4th place. So the safety car, again, Bruce will be the leader now. Try and bunch up those cars once everything's back to normality, Tim.
And you know, with these safety cars happening as often as they have in the race at this point, I actually think that this is going to benefit these top 3 drivers who are just got 8 laps on the hard tires. Because Speed Queen 80, Martin, Rudo, all of these drivers that just went into the pits, they were nearing their window anyway. Weren't exactly on the window, but they were nearing it and figured that it's time to pit on the safety car while they have the opportunity. But now, Bruce Lee Harding, Darryl, and Mikey, they're going to stay out there, but it's only an 8-lap difference on hard compound tires. So those tires can go a lot longer than if that was an 8-lap difference on mediums or softs or however you want to look at it. So when Bruce has to pit, he'll likely go to mediums. I think that by that time, Speed Queen 80's tires, Martin's tires, those drivers' tires are going to be worn out. I think that Bruce is going to make up a lot of gains in that second stint on those medium tires. Bruce, Darryl, Mikey, all these drivers that are on the hards now that did not pit just this time.
Yeah, but remember though, it's the hard tyres. They're going to go pretty much probably about to lap. I'm just trying to think, lap 15 to 18. So these guys have got about another 10 laps to go, while all the others are just going to go all the way to the end while the others are going to pit in for the fresh tyres as well. But if you like what you've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel for all the live races itself. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight. Will be a massive help. I'll say again, it will be a massive help to myself, Malk, and Tim for the commentary, as well as the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. Hit that like button on this stream, guys. Please hit that like button. Thank you so much. Tim.
So just waiting for the safety car to come in, and should be coming in this lap. So that will give us about a 17-lap shootout to the end. So we've almost split this race in half, give or take.
Yeah.
Not quite at the halfway point yet, but we'll just call it close enough. So this was our halfway break. That's how we're going to look at it.
Yeah. I was trying to, sorry. I was trying to think, like, it is nearly coming up to the halfway point as such. But this is our halfway break as such. But
although I feel like Cassidy is not going to be as happy to look at it that way.
Well, I can't see that happening for him. I think he'll be absolutely fuming. But the safety car will be in this lap, Tim. The safety car will be in this lap. So Bruce will be bunching those cars up, and he needs to get a good start because Darryl and Mikey, they ain't going to mess about, Tim.
Yeah, and Bruce really going slow here, trying to bunch those cars up. Take a look behind, and you see, well, just a big snake, big colorful snake behind them. As they're all weaving, trying to get heat into those tires. Bruce, of course, can go whenever he wants as long as it's before the line. Through Parabolica, still toying with them.
Yeah, still toying, and just waiting to see when Bruce is going to go for it. Look at Darryl. He knows, and we're off now, Tim. We're off now for carry on with the racing.
So pretty good start there from Bruce Lee Harding. Not really as much of a gap between him and Daryl as maybe he had hoped, though. But through turn one, he's not going to have much of a challenge because Daryl, he's got Mikey just behind him in the Red Bull. And, whoa, was there some contact through turn one? Well, of course there was. It was Monza, but who exactly? Looks like Rudo may be dropping down.
So Rudo's dropped down. Looks like Mikey dropped down at 4. Speed Queen moves up to 3rd. Merck is getting close to Rudo. Merck is getting close to Rudo for 6th place. But Rudo has got a penalty. I'll just double check on the penalty at the moment. 5-second penalty.
Oh, we got a Red Bull off the track there. Was that Mikey? Yeah, Mikey's off.
Mikey's off now. So Mikey is off. He's dropped down like a domino effect him.
So I'm watching Speed Queen 80 now, and I want to see how long it takes her to really, reel in the top two. She's right there, and if the DRS was active now, she would be in prime position to take benefit of that. But at the moment, no DRS, just raw pace. Bruce, Daryl, Speed Queen, your top three. Bruce and Daryl, they have not pitted yet. They are on the same tires that they started this race on, hard compound tires. Speed Queen 80, she just pitted for a fresh set of hards.
Yeah, JP's off. 7 tenths a second, but JP's off. JP's off at Ascari, and Cameron's making the move on to MDJ. That is crucial for Cameron. That is crucial for Cameron to make the move. He needs to close up to Rudder, though. He needs to close up to Rudder, who's in 5th place. But Daryl's getting close to Bruce, Tim. Oh, my God. Look at turn one.
Right into turn number 1, and not happening this time for Daryl. Bruce will hold on to the lead. Oh, and we've got, is that an Aston Martin off the track? Yeah, that's Cameron Searle. Cameron Searle, he's off the track in turns 1 and 2. Not sure what's happened. We're going to take a look at him. Does he have any wing damage? That is one of our championship competitors. No wing damage that I can see, but 14th place, that's not where he wants to be.
That's not where he wants to be. He had a great moment, to be fair, but he's dropped himself down again to 14. So that's not good news for him at the moment. But Darryl still wants the battle. Merck's getting close to Rudo for 5th. Darryl he was under a 10. But now Bruce is trying to pull away as much as possible. But Speed Queen is slowly behind him.
Yeah, and right now we've just got a big line of cars, and this is going to turn into a brutal DRS train, and not sure how Bruce is going to be able to fend off all of these cars. I think we might see some changing in the lead here in just a moment, but who's going to fall where? Well, only time will tell. But one thing I'm noticing, though, right now, and I'm not sure if this is by intention or not, is that it does seem as though Bruce Lee Harding and Daryl, they are able to keep Speed Queen at bay. You would think that she would be able to pass them very quickly on those fresh tires, as we've actually got to move behind her. Martin going into P4 around Rudo. So it's a side-by-side battle for the 4th position, actually. Rudo on the outside, Martin on the inside. Some contact maybe, but they get away clean.
Get away clean as well, so that's a good move there from Rudo. But Dowell is still cannot make that move on to Bruce. Ryan's made the move on to SFR Martin, 7th place. I'll tell you what, Merck is one lucky boy because he's hit the curbs a few times. And Ryan nearly went to the back of SFR Martin, Tim.
Yeah, SFR Martin, he's really been having a good day today. He started on the pole in the sprint race, or actually he won the sprint race rather. So starting off the day strong and now running in the 6th position, and he's got a legitimate shot at the top 3 finishing position today.
Absolutely. Rudo's had a great exit at Ascari, though. Rudo's got a great exit at Ascari. He's going to be 2 in a bed moment now between himself and Speed Queen. Down to Parabolica corner. Rudo will have the inside line and makes the move perfectly. But Speed Queen will have the opportunity to make the move. If as long as she gets close, but it looks like Rudo is getting even close to Dowell. Oh my God, Rudo is not messing about. Oh my God. Oh, come on! Come on! Rudo went from 4th all the way to 1st place, Tim.
Oh my goodness, Rudo showing us how it's done, and already half a second between him and Bruce Lee Harding. Side by side, Bruce Lee Harding and Daryl fighting it out. Bruce finally clears Daryl, trying to chase down Rudo, but Daryl looking back underneath of Bruce Lee Harding, and it's really at that moment that maybe you should start working with your competitor as Daryl gets around Bruce. So Daryl second now, Bruce P3. But, you know, it's at that moment that maybe you don't need to be fighting side by side. You need to work with your competitor a little bit, because when you fight side by side, you're just going slower, letting Rudo, in this case, get out even further ahead. And now they have lost the DRS. Rudo pulling away, and they're now acting as a nice little barrier between Rudo and the rest of the fresh tire runners. So that was the perfect scenario for that Alpha Tower.
Absolutely. It looks like Merck is going to go on the inside line of Speed Queen now for 4th place. Oh, jeez Louise. Oh my days, they're going to go. The worst going side by side of Parabolic corner. That would have been epic. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this, Tim. Merck, Bruce drops down. Merck is going to do exactly the same as what Renault's going to try and do, except he's going to move to second. Oh! But Merck, unbelievable drive with that medium stint. Where's this lad come from? He is Speed Gonzalez moment. Speed Queen drops down to 6. And looks like MDJ drops down to 15, Tim.
And this is very impressive. Oh, and Martin and Speed Queen 80, both of them are out. What's happened?
Oh, what's happened to them? They've had a crash. Looks like they've had a crash. And they're both out. They are both out of the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. But that will have to be checked by stewards afterwards. But
did you see what happened, Malk?
I did not catch it. Sorry, Tim. I did not catch it at all. So I can't answer that question. But it looks like, I don't know if... let me just have a quick look at the stream, see what actually happened from that point of view.
So, regardless, this does put us under our 3rd safety car of the day, just before our 10 laps to go mark. Lap 15 of 27 to be exact, about to be lap 16 now. So it's Rudo, Merck, and Ryan, your top 3 at the moment, because it looks like Bruce and Daryl, Nitro Gash as well, pitting. So a lot of drivers pitting, taking advantage of this.
Yeah, so I'm just having a quick look at the stream. It looks like Martin caught Speed Queen just before the end of the first sector. So it's SFR Martin's fault for causing Speed Queen with that crash, Tim.
Oh, wow. So Martin and Speed Queen, you know, 2 of the fastest cars today. Like we said, Martin, he won the sprint race, in Speed Queen right there in P2. They had been racing together pretty much the entire day. And I guess sooner or later, you're going to make contact.
Yeah, this is what I mean. If you go and make the move, make sure you've got enough space. If you're feeling confident enough. Don't just risk. I know SFR Martin. I know Speed Queen very, very well, but it looked like as if Martin thought that he cleared the air, like cleared enough space between himself and Speed Queen. But unfortunately, because of that incident, it didn't look like it. So, yeah, so that's what's going to happen at the minute. So SFR Martin will have a few words from Speed Queen. I will not be surprised at the end of this race, Tim.
So a bit of a, I don't know what we say, chaotic race, 3 safety cars in the first 16 laps, and, well, about to get to our 10 lap to go mark, and just hoping that we get there without any more carnage, because, well, quite frankly, I'd say that these drivers would rather just keep racing.
They would rather keep racing, to be fair, but especially when it looked like that they were in a good position as well. I don't want to drag on too much about it because it's done and dusted, but at the same time, you don't want it to compromise too much of the racing. So Scotty says Owen podium incoming. Yeah, could be, depending on if he doesn't mess up or anything like that. He's still got plenty of chance to hold on into the top 3, so you never know, Scotty, you never know. But regarding coming back, you need to have confidence with the drivers. You need to have confidence with the other driver next to you to make sure that if you are making the move, you've got to do it spot on. Do you know what I mean, Tim? So that's my end of it on that, because otherwise I'm going to keep on about it for ages, to be honest.
Well, lucky for you now, because I think the safety car should be coming in this time. We got a couple of stragglers there at the back, that being Cassidy and Cameron. But let's talk about them now, because Cassidy pitted, and so did Cameron. So Cameron, that's the one I really want to talk about. Not because he's a championship contender right now, but because he has pitted for a fresh set of soft Dr. Feelgoods, and we have seen how drivers can just carve their way through the pack on the soft tires around Monza today. Most of the time through the season, we've noticed to where soft tires really don't give you that big of an advantage, but here at Monza, it really seems like they are hooked up around this place. So I would not be surprised if Cameron Searle can get up to the top 5, maybe challenge for a top 3. Bit of a big ask, but we're about to see if it can happen.
I will be honest, Tim. It is I mean, don't get me wrong. Cameron's a good driver. I'm not doubting his skills or anything like that. But that is a massive task. Massive task.
Well, remember, I did say maybe, so you can't say I was wrong.
I am still blaming you for that one, Tim, to be fair.
We are back green.
Yeah, rudder's off. He's off and running now. So he's going to pull away, try and get away from Merckx, because he is on fire at the minute. Ryan's had a good race, actually. Will Owen give something to the top 3? That'll be insane stuff. Oh, ARL try and go. Nearly went to the back of Owen. But, yeah, pressure miles. MDJ's got... Oh, JP's dropped down. MDJ's dropped down. 2 drivers are dropping down like a domino effect, Tim.
Yeah, and MDJ, one of those drivers that is in contention for this championship. Running in P8 right now. Bruce Lee Harding right behind him. Darrell ahead of him in the Mercedes. Now, Darrell, Bruce Lee, they were leading at the start of the last safety car period. Those older tires sort of saw them drop back a little bit, but this safety car might have bailed them out a bit. So Darrell, P7, Bruce, P9, and they are in prime position to use those fresh medium tires to capitalize on the drivers ahead of them who do have older tires than them. So maybe we're going to see them move ahead.
Absolutely. Scotty says Owen and Cameron get 1-2 and he'll get an ARL tattoo. So
and we got a car around. JP into the wall. Is that going to be another safety car? It is at least a virtual safety car at the very least.
Jesus, that was a massive crash. Massive crash, Tim. Bloody hell.
I'm not sure what happened there, Malk. I'm not sure if there was some contact or if JP just got into the throttle a little too quick and spun it around.
Well, to be honest, Ascari is atrocious wherever happens. As soon as you hit the curb, you've gone. You've got to be on the ball and hit the curb at the right point at the right time. If you're not, you're screwed, basically. You're absolutely screwed. It looks like MDJ and Cassidy both go on the softs. I mean, look at Nitrogas. She's the highest person who's on the soft tyre in 9th place. You've got the chance to move some of a few positions. As you said with Cameron, I don't think Cameron will get a top 3. I personally don't think Cameron will get a top 3. No offence to him, he is a good driver, but it is, as I said, a big push. And Cassidy's got to drive the penalty for speed under the virtual safety car here.
Yeah, and you know, Cameron, a top 3, that is a big ask. Possibly, but still a big ask. Regardless, though, I am confident that he could get there into the top 5.
Top 5. He's going to have a lot of work. Well, it's going to be a lot of work, especially with Joe Amsterdam pulling away that hard tyre and the medium stints of pulling away. It's going to be a bit of a push. Smoke says, can we fix the race for that to happen, to have Owen and Cameron being 1-2 for that tattoo to happen? And Scott says, absolutely no. David says, are you Chris, the commentators? No, we're just Malk and Tim as the commentators for the Invictus Racing League, for the Realism Performance League on the Crossplay edition, Tim.
Are we what commentators?
Are you Chris, the commentators?
Chris, the commentators?
Yeah, that's what Dave said.
My name is not Chris, but okay. All right, but Rudo P2
Chris.
though, while this has been going on, Merckx is in P1, Rudo in P2. Now let's take a look at the penalties here for just a moment, because that's sort of important considering it's going to affect the finishing order. That is 5 seconds for Rudo, 3 seconds for Joe Hamster, and a drive-through for Cassidy. Looks like he's just served that. But Rudo, that's really the big one here, because he is sitting here in the second spot, so he's on the podium for now, but could be losing that at the end of this.
He will drop himself down to at least 7th place if it stays like this, Tim. So, Martin says, apologies for speaking before I cleared up. Well, we didn't see the incident because we couldn't catch it, but from the stream, caught back, it looked like there was a bit of a crash. No, there was definitely a crash.
And Rudo making a move on Merckx, going into turn number 1 around the outside, but he doesn't clear him. It's going to be side by side off of turn number 2. It's going to be the AlphaTauri who just barely has the advantage.
Look at Ryan. Ryan's going to go around the outside. Come on. Come on. You want to move? You've got to do it now. Oh, come on. We've got to about mark onto the chicane. Ryan's made the move on the inside. No, Merckx. Oh. 2 cars merged. That is not good. Oh my God! I'm coming to Lesmo corner 1. Ryan, come on, Merckx. Don't you dare! No, this is mad. Come on, come on. This is brilliant racing now.
Merckx in P2 now.
Look at Owen. Owen could move up to 2nd place here. No, he's not risking it for a biscuit there, Tim. Sorry.
Not that time going into Ascari, though. But like you said, Malk, Ascari, it is, shall we say, just an absolute devil of a corner. So you have got to be careful. And Owen not making that move, probably a good decision. But he is going to have plenty more opportunities. It's only lap 21 of 27. Closing stages of this race, but still plenty of racing left to go. The DRS is going to pay dividends to some of these drivers.
Absolutely, and this has been a brilliant race. Whatever happens, this has been an absolute brilliant race. Nigel Cash moves up to 7, Jarvis drops down 8, Mikey moves up to 9, Bruce drops down to 10th place now. So yeah, it's just been insane stuff. Cassidy hopefully doesn't want to get lapped at this stage, but Bruce goes back up to 9. AMDJ's got to pass off the race now, 122.511. So yeah. Mad seeds to be 30.
So, Rudo, Merckx, Owen, your top 3. Ryan, ARL, your top 5. Daryl, Nitro Gas, Joe Hamster, Bruce Lee Harding, and Mikey, your top 10. Then Cameron, MDJ, and Cassidy, the rest of the field, lap 22 of 27. And it has been one chaotic race. It's just been, one constant.
Daryl, sorry. Daryl's lost it at Lesmo corner 2. I don't know if he got caught, but look at Rudo. Rudo's lost it at the Ascari corner.
Wait, Rudo? No, Malk. Rudo, he is still in the lead. Merckx in P2. Owen 3rd place, and they are pretty much nose to tail coming off a Parabolica. And this is going to be a DRS string, but Rudo, he is going to be the sitting duck. On board with Merckx in the Aston Martin. Owen in the AlphaTauri just behind him. Remember, 2 medium tires versus the hard tires on Rudo, but they're the same age. Rudo, technically, the advantage swinging in his favor, if only slightly. No change in position that time. Ryan in this mix as well in P4. Hell, ARL in that mix as well in P5. We've got all the drivers pretty much in the top 5 here running nose to tail in contention for this win. Rudo, though, remember, he's got that 5-second time penalty, so that is going to come back to bite him in the rear when we get to the end of this race. When that checkered flag flies, Rudo will lose 5 seconds, so he's going to have to find 5 seconds over everyone else if he's going to win this race.
Sorry, Tim. Unfortunately, I've had some disconnection issues, so you might have to keep going until I get back in. I do apologise, guys. To be fair.
Well, Malk, we know that you are with us in spirit here, and you know what? You have done a fantastic job today. Just take a break. Take a water break, because you absolutely need it. Lap 23 of 27. We're coming at the closing stages of this race, and this is fantastic racing between these top 5 drivers. Yes, top 5. You see all 5 of them there in line. Rudo, Merckx, Owen, Ryan, ARL. all those drivers in contention for this win. Look at the differences in lines through Parabolica. Merkt and Owen really using that outside line, using what I call that green stuff to find a little bit of grip and help them with the exit off the corner, and it did. Look at Merkt going around Rudo, and Owen trying to follow him through, but can't do it this time. He's going to have to try again.
So, yeah, he's going to have to try and do it again. And back live racing. Sorry, Tim. We're back live racing. Oh, my days, Ryan. Ryan going to go right the outside again. Come on. Come on. You want to move? You're going to do it now. And I think he's going to be under a lot of pressure from Owen. Owen's going to make the move on the inside. Oh, my God. Rudo. Hold it on. Owen, try and drop down into third place. Ryan and ARL. What a race, Tim. Damn.
Well, I did not expect to hear that from you today, Malk, but I'm glad I did. Merkt, Rudo, Owen, your new top three. And Ryan trying to change that, get around Owen, going into Ascari. Can't do it that time. Gonna have to fall back in line. Might see a move into turn number one, but this is still a DRS train. It's starting to spread out just a little bit, but still a DRS train that these drivers are not enjoying. And, you know, just behind them, you've got Nitro Gash 3.7 seconds behind. So it's really just these five that they have to worry about.
Absolutely. ARL. Sorry. That was my voice. ARL's trying to make the move onto Ryan, and he's got the chance to make the move to in the bed. Brilliant move, using all that DRS, and Owen's going to have to be careful with ARL. He's just behind at turn one. Mikey has got, I believe, a 3-second time down from multiple warnings, Tim.
Yeah, and that's just a bad day going worse for him. But you saw ARL get around Ryan into turn number one, so he moves up into the fourth position. Now, ARL is on medium tires, as well as Owen and Merkt, while Rudo and Ryan, they are on the hard tires. But every one of them, 16 laps on those tires. They all pitted on the same lap, so it's really not who's got older tires. It's just which compound is going to be better, because it should be more or less even across the board. Hard tires might have a touch more life left in them than the mediums, but with just a couple of laps to go, maybe it's not going to matter.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. But here we go. This is going to be an absolute belter in the Invictus Racing League, the Realist Performance League, on the Crossplay Edition. Bruce going side with Joe at the Ascari corner. And I'll tell you what, wheel banging moments. Joe wants to fight back. Joe wants to fight back at Bruce, because that is just unbelievable move there from Bruce. Bruce is going to go around the outside of Parabolica. Looks like Joe's going to go on the inside line. And got a Red Bull. Hopefully it gives some wings. Moments now. Two in the bed. We've got a two in the bed moment now. Joe goes on backwards to 7th place. Will Mikey bounce back into 8th? No. Some of the drivers are trying to save ERS, Tim.
So a good move there from Joe Hamster to get himself into the 7th position. We've got 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go, and Joe Hamster had a bit of a bobble off of turn number 2. That's going to allow Bruce Lee Harding another opportunity to get around him, and I think he's going to be able to do it. It's a side-by-side battle between these two drivers. Who's going to win out for that 7th position? Joe Hamster, at least for now, but I think Bruce Lee Harding might have the better... Yep, Bruce Lee Harding, better line through that chicane, but Joe Hamster, a fantastic crossover.
Absolutely, and Cassidy has crashed at the Ascari corner. We might have a safety car. Oh, it's too late now for a safety car, actually. It is too late, but they're coming up to quite a few drivers. So they're just coming up to the Ascari corner. And oh my God, no. Don't you dare do a 3 to bed moment coming to the Ascari. You'd be insane in the membrane. Bruce Lee is holding on in 7th. Joe drops down at 8th. Mikey holding on for dear life. And they come up to the final lap now, Tim. I'll let you do the honors.
Yeah, we certainly love our 90s hip-hop here, don't we, Malk? Insane in the membrane. It's been an insane race today, but it's all coming down to this, the final lap between Merkt, Rudo, and Owen. Now, Rudo, he's got that 5-second time penalty, so he's really just fighting for whatever he can salvage. Pretty much no chance of winning this race, unfortunately, for him, unless maybe somehow he were to get that removed by the stewards later on. But that, well, that's why we say officially unofficial results at the end of these races. But it's still Merkt who is in the perfect position to take advantage of that 5-second time penalty, because even if Rudo does get around him, he doesn't have to worry about getting back by him. He just has to worry about fending off everyone else. Now, Owen in P3 here in the AlphaTauri, he's trying to get a win here. And it looks like it's just going to come down to these three drivers. ARL, a former champion behind them, trying to make up positions as they go into Ascari, but he's just too far away to fight with the top three.
Yeah, but ARL will guarantee third anyway, because Rudder will drop down. Rudder will drop down to at least fifth anyway. So this will be a fight to the death. Will Merck on track hold on in first? Or will Rudder go round the outside at Parabolica corner? He will go round the outside at Parabolica corner. Oh boy! Oh, Rudder will be fuming. Ryan moves up to fourth. ARL drops down to fifth. So Mert, Owen and Ryan out of nowhere will have the top three team.
My goodness. Well, you know what, Malk? None of us were correct on our top three predictions this time. But Rudo, with that 5-second time penalty, dropping down to P5. But without it, he proved that he would have won the race. Got that grip on the outside line and just sailed away. That was a fantastic move, and I'd say that he's very disappointed that it didn't count for the win. But congratulations to Merck, Owen, and Ryan on their top three. Unfortunately, we do not have time for interviews. We'll go through the race classifications, and then we will have to sign off. So no interviews for our top three drivers today, but still a very big congratulations to those top three, because that was very, very impressive. I mean, what was it, 3 safety cars, Mal? And
3 safety cars and a few virtual safety cars, but here's an interesting stat. No PlayStation driver has hit the top 3 this evening. It's been 2 PC drivers and an Xbox driver. That's the shock.
Crossplay gang rise up, it looks like.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So here are your officially unofficial race results, of course, pending any stewarding queries and comments, concerns, questions, whichever the drivers may want to post in the steward's office. But Mercked in first, Owen in second, and then Ryan in P3. And of course, ARL barely missing out on that third place to Ryan there in fourth. Rudo in fifth. Sixth is Nitro Gash. Bruce Lee Harding in seventh. Eighth is Joe Hamster. Ninth is Cameron Searle. Well, I was big wrong about that one. Mikey in P10. 11th is MDJ Daryl in 12th. 13th is Cassidy JP in 14th. 15th is Martin Speed Queen 80 in 16th. Sir Spud in 17th, and 18th is Ginger Tiger. Don't have time for interviews today, unfortunately, but congratulations to Mercked, Owen, and Ryan on their top three. Thank you to everyone who watched, and of course, thank you to all the drivers that joined us today. And until next time, have fun and goodbye.
See you later, guys. Take it.